Beneath the shimmering surface of our planet's vast oceans lies a world teeming with life, mystery, and wonder. Covering over 70% of Earth's surface, these marine realms are not just breathtakingly beautiful, they are vital to the health and stability of our global ecosystem. Yet, despite their importance, our oceans are facing an unprecedented crisis, one that often goes unnoticed amidst the hustle of daily life. While images of oil spills and floating plastic islands have captured public attention, many of the most severe threats to marine life are less visible, but equally, if not more, destructive. One such peril is the increasing occurrence of marine heat waves. In 2024, a marine heat wave engulfed an area of the ocean 5 times the size of Australia. This event was not just a record breaker in terms of its geographic scale, but also in its intensity and duration. Such heat waves are not isolated incidents. They are symptomatic of a broader trend of rising ocean temperatures driven by climate change. As surface waters warm, they hold less carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, leading to more CO2 being absorbed by the deep ocean. This process alters ocean circulation patterns, including the upwelling of deeper, warmer waters to the surface. The consequences of these shifts are profound. Marine organisms adapted to colder temperatures face challenges to their survival, while warmer waters can lead to the proliferation of invasive species and the spread of diseases. For instance, the 2024 marine heat wave in the North Atlantic resulted in the largest coral bleaching event ever recorded in the region, affecting over 10 billion corals. Coral bleaching occurs when corals expel the algae living in their tissues, leading to a loss of color and a decline in their health. If the stress continues, it can result in the death of the coral. Similarly, in 2016, another marine heat wave known as the blob significantly impacted the Pacific Northwest, causing mass die-offs of sea stars and other marine organisms. The disruption caused by these heat waves ripples through the entire marine ecosystem. For example, in 2020, a collapse in the anchovy population off the coast of Peru was linked to a marine heat wave. Anchovies are a crucial food source for sea lions, and their decline led to starvation and deaths among the sea lion population. This highlights how changes in ocean temperature can have cascading effects throughout the food chain. Rising sea temperatures also pose a threat to the livelihoods of millions of people who depend on the ocean for food and income. For example, in 2016, a marine heat wave known as the blob caused the collapse of the Dungeness crab fishery in California, resulting in significant economic losses for fishermen and the communities that rely on the fishery. This is just one example of how rising sea temperatures are impacting the livelihoods of millions of people around the world. Another insidious threat comes in the form of microplastics, tiny plastic particles less than 5 millimeters in size. These particles have infiltrated every corner of the marine environment, from the deepest trenches to the coastal shallows. Microplastics are generated from the breakdown of larger plastic debris, but also from everyday activities such as washing synthetic clothing or using personal care products containing microbeads. These particles are now ubiquitous in the ocean, with studies showing that they contaminate fish and other seafood. A study published in 2020 found microplastics in over 60% of the fish sold in California, with the highest levels in fish caught near highly populated areas. Another study published in 2021 found microplastics in fish from various locations along the United States West Coast, including the Pacific Ocean. While the long-term health risks of consuming microplastics remain under investigation, the particles can cause physical harm to marine organisms. They can also leach chemicals that disrupt endocrine systems or accumulate in the cells and tissues of living organisms. This poses a risk to both wildlife and, ultimately, to humans who consume seafood. Addressing the issue of microplastics requires a multifaceted approach, including reducing single-use plastic consumption, improving waste management, and developing innovative solutions such as biodegradable plastics. Beyond pollution and temperature changes, direct human activities are physically altering marine habitats. Practices such as bottom trawling, dredging, and coastal development destroy critical ecosystems like coral reefs, mangroves, and seagrass beds. These habitats serve as nurseries for countless marine species and act as natural barriers against storms and erosion. The destruction of these environments not only diminishes biodiversity, but also compromises the ocean's ability to sequester carbon, exacerbating climate change. It's a vicious cycle where environmental degradation leads to further ecological imbalance. Despite this grim outlook, there is hope. Scientists and innovators worldwide are developing solutions to mitigate these challenges. In Japan, researchers have created a new type of plastic that dissolves in seawater within hours. This breakthrough offers a promising alternative to traditional plastics that persist in the environment for centuries. Additionally, the concept of sea rewilding is gaining traction. This involves restoring marine ecosystems to their natural states by reintroducing native species and allowing habitats to recover. For instance, in the UK, the return of sea otters has had a cascading positive effect on kelp forests and other marine life. Sea otters consume mussels that compete with kelp for space, and their presence has led to the recovery of kelp forests, which provide habitat for a variety of species. In Australia, efforts to restore seagrass meadows have shown promising results. Seagrass meadows are important nurseries for many fish species, and they also help stabilize sediments and reduce erosion. To effectively address these oceanic challenges, global cooperation is essential. The BBNJ Agreement, a legally binding international treaty under the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, aims to conserve and sustainably use marine biological diversity in areas beyond national jurisdiction. This historic agreement, which entered into force in 2024, represents a significant step toward coordinated global action to protect the high seas, a vast area of the ocean that makes up 64% of the Earth's surface. Recognizing the urgency of the situation, world leaders came together to forge this agreement, acknowledging the need to protect the biodiversity and ecosystem functions of the high seas, which are currently not effectively regulated. The BBNJ Agreement introduces a new legal instrument specifically designed to address the unique challenges of conserving and sustainably using marine resources in international waters. It establishes a framework for the conservation and sustainable use of marine genetic resources in the high seas, ensuring that the benefits derived from these resources are shared equitably among nations. Furthermore, the agreement promotes the protection of vulnerable marine ecosystems, such as deep seabeds and areas inhabited by slow-growing or fragile species, from harmful human activities. It also encourages the adoption of ecosystem-based approaches to fisheries management, taking into account the impacts on the entire marine ecosystem rather than focusing solely on individual species. Addressing the challenges facing our oceans requires a collaborative effort involving governments, international organizations, scientists, and local communities. The BBNJ Agreement sets the stage for a new era of cooperation, urging all stakeholders to work together to safeguard the health and productivity of our oceans for present and future generations. The successful implementation of the BBNJ Agreement hinges on several factors, including the commitment of nations to uphold their international obligations, the development of effective monitoring and enforcement mechanisms, and the promotion of capacity building and technology transfer to support developing countries in implementing the agreement's provisions. International cooperation is crucial, as the high seas transcend national boundaries and require a coordinated global response. Collaborative efforts in research, data sharing, and joint ventures will enhance our understanding of the marine environment and enable more effective conservation measures. Engaging local communities is also vital, as they often have a deep connection to the ocean and its resources. Empowering coastal communities through education, training, and sustainable fishing practices can significantly contribute to the long-term health of marine ecosystems. By embracing these strategies, we can pave the way for a future where our oceans thrive, providing sustenance, beauty, and ecological balance for generations to come. As we navigate the complexities of ocean governance, it's essential to remember the invaluable contributions that our oceans make to our planet and our lives. They are the lungs of our planet, absorbing vast amounts of carbon dioxide and producing over half of the oxygen we breathe. Oceans are also a major source of protein for billions of people worldwide, providing food security and livelihoods for countless communities. Their influence on climate regulation, weather patterns, and nutrient cycling makes them a cornerstone of our planet's life support system. Protecting and conserving our oceans should not be viewed as a mere environmental imperative, but as a matter of utmost importance for the well-being of humanity. we must recognize that the health of our oceans is intricately linked to our own survival and prosperity. By investing in ocean conservation, promoting sustainable practices, and fostering international cooperation, we can ensure that future generations inherit a planet with thriving oceans that continue to sustain life and inspire wonder. Let us all be part of the solution, for the sake of the oceans and for the sake of our planet's future. While the challenges facing our oceans are immense, there is reason to remain hopeful. Through a combination of scientific innovation, international cooperation, and individual responsibility, we can work toward restoring the health of our marine ecosystems. The time to act is now, for the sake of the countless species that call the ocean home, and for the future of our planet. Thank you for watching.